And I really am very excited to start with my first thing.
Okay.
Because we haven't done one like this before.
Okay.
My first thing that I'm real into this week and every week of my life for the rest of my life is Rachel's Chili.
Oh.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of people I think maybe had that reaction of like, oh, how sweet. Griffin's going to talk about...
we were going to save this kind of stuff for our Valentine's Day episode.
No, I mean, I feel no greater love for you than I do when I eat this good chili. A lot of people are going to hear this and say, aw. But I want to be entirely sort of academic about this.
Okay.
I want to be very scientific about this because it's the best fucking chili in the entire universe.
Oh, Griffin.
No, we can't do that every time. Scientific. I'm not saying all these things about your just rambunctious chili. It gets in my mouth and it just plays around in there. I'm not talking about this so you boost your spirits up. Although if that happens, I'm psyched about it because I love making you feel like you are treasured, because you are, because you're a treasure. Your chili is so fucking good, and I'm saying this as somebody who's not always been a chili fan. One time when I was a little boy, small boy, I went to my nanny's house, and she made me a plate of food, and on that plate was some beans, and I ate the beans. I threw up.
Oh, no.
And from that point, I told myself I was allergic to beans.
Oh, my gosh. This explains so much.
So I just would not eat beans for ever, which did not afford me many chili tunities. Mm-hmm. And that was especially heartbreaking because Huntington, where I grew up, had a number of food festivals, one of which was Chili Fest, where I think it's in August sometime, they like shut down 4th Avenue, and it's just like all these different places come and they have a chili competition.
Can I ask you how old you were when this
like
chili thing
like
happened?
7 or 8.
Oh my gosh.
My dad judges the chili competition, which is for me hysterical and also a sort of statement about the nature of man and the way that he inevitably harms himself, because my daddy's tum-tum is quite bad. But I didn't participate in Chili Fest because I didn't like beans. There's beans all over the damn place. There was a restaurant in Huntington called Chili Willie's, and they had a cup of what they called Texas red chili, bean-free. It had like venison in it. It was amazing. Place shut down, though,
That's a
when I was
big
in
thing
college.
with Texas chili is that typically there aren't beans in it.
There are no beans in it. My mom made chili growing up, but for me, it always turned into a sort of bean excavation, just a sort of bean collection. I would lay them out in even rows as I would dig them out, and leaving myself with sort of a tomato meat soup. And then, what else? I guess I lived in Cincinnati for a while, and Cincinnati, you got a lot going on. Loved living in you. Go Reds. Your chili is basically sort of cinnamon sweet spaghetti sauce, but keep at it. Rachel's chili is like a sweater that you can eat and that you should absolutely eat. It's a sweater you can and should eat. You eat it and there is nothing better on like a slightly cold day. Do they call it chili? Because if you eat it when it's chilly, it feels like you're eating a big sweater that you should be wearing.
That would be adorable if that were the reason. I imagine a lot of it has to do with the ingredients,
probably,
which include chili powder.
Oh, that's probably more what it is. Eating Rachel's hearty-ass chili on a cold day is about the best thing that you can do with your body. And I know you're asking me, Griffin, how's the spice? Terrible. Just kidding. Perfect. It's extremely good. You don't want to tuck into a big bowl of this hearty soup mess and then your mouth is burning the whole time. No, because it's work eating a bunch of chili, because it's a hearty food. You have to attack that motherfucker, but you can't do it if you're getting your mouth burned the whole time. So Rachel's chili doesn't come at you like that. It comes at you with a good savory flavor with a little bit of spice on the back end that just keeps you coming back for more. It's not soup, because chili should not be soup. I've had a lot of chili where my friends like, I made you chili, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that we were this close.
Real soupy.
And it's soup with bean.
I know what you mean.
It's a meat bean soup. Get this the fuck out of here. I've also had shit that's just a big pile of beans and meat that's kind of wet. And it's like, you've done it wrong also. Rachel's chili is hearty and savory, but it's also like creamy without cream in it. You know what I mean? Like it's luscious. Do you know what I mean? It all melds together into like it's that perfect. It's a good chili's like a plasma almost. It oscillates between the solid and liquid states, and that's what you bring to the table.
Can I talk a little bit about what's
I
in
want
it?
to know what your secret is
Okay.
to your chili, because every time you make it, it feels very experimental.
Yeah, it's a little different every time.
And I love that because I never know what to expect.
So the recipe is actually based on one that I got off of allrecipes.com. If you Google it, I believe it's called Laura's Slow Cooker Chili.
Rachel's original chili. I'm not going to pay attention to anything you say about sourcing this recipe. For me, it came from your heart and your brain. They got together for this hot collaboration.
So thank you, Laura, wherever you may be, for inspiring this dish. So you saute the meat.
Fuck yeah.
With some onions.
We had special meat this time that we got from a farmer's market.
We went to the farmer's
They were
market.
very intense. Don't cook this above 90 degrees Fahrenheit because has a low fat melting point. We're like, whoa, shit, calm down. It's ground beef. Mm-hmm. But they were right.
There's some kidney beans, some black beans.
What's up? Has it got sauce? The tomato, like you put a tomato sauce starter in there?
So then, Laura's slow cooker recipe recommends 2 cans of tomato soup.
Laura.
Yeah. So I use a small can of tomato sauce.
See, that's how you make it your own.
And then here's the other interesting thing. And this is actually a recommendation on the website, so I can't even take credit for this either.
Take credit for it, please.
You use a can of diced tomatoes with some like jalapeno peppers in there.
Oh.
So it's kind of like a can of Rotel, basically.
Yeah, sure. Can't believe you came up with that on your own, baby.
That was
Can't believe you came up with that on your own, baby. Listen, I'm talking about this on the podcast as advertising because I want to. I'm gonna move away from the mic so they can't hear me. I want to start selling your chili.
Oh,
but
okay.
if you keep we're away from the mic so they can't hear us. I want to sell your chili. I want to put you on every jug and vase of this chili. We're gonna sell it in vases. And if you say that you got all the recipes and you stole them from an old woman named Laura, who you knocked over at a Walmart and stole her recipe book out of her purse, they're not gonna let us trademark it. So just be careful from them. Okay, let's get back into it.
Okay. Gosh, yeah, and that's honestly about it. Put it in the slow cooker for
all day,
4 to 6 hours.
I think there's just I love your chili.
I like to sometimes I'll add some red pepper flakes if I'm looking for some spice. Didn't do it this time. Salt, pepper,
Loving it.
Garlic.
I love your chili because it feels good to eat it with my mouth. But really, like the excitement
and love
and the love,
and the secret ingredient is love.
When you tell me at like 10 a.m. I'm gonna make chili for dinner tonight, I like get excited about the entire day that we're about to have. And that's not a joke. I'm not being like cutesy here. Like when you say at 10 a.m. like, hey, I think we got that ground beef from the farmer's market. I think I'm going to make chili tonight. I just think like, one, that's going to be a good dinner and probably a good lunch the following day. Definitely a good lunch the following day if it survives the dinner. But also the house is going to be filled with the most wonderful pungent meat stink that is just going to be like so good. And I don't know, makes it, we're deep in that season game now, and it just feels I don't know, it smells so good, and it tastes, and I just look forward to it so much.
I don't know that I've ever made chili in the summertime. For me, it is an exclusively fall, winter food.
Only drawback, perfect chili, very profitable. Look for it in your Sam's Clubs. Look for the jug and vase with Rachel's face on it.
Mama Rachel's.
Good chili.
I want some alliteration, though, real bad, but like a ch sound, like a
chunky
cheerful chili.
Cheerful chunks of chili. And we'll sell them in little like bags, like they used to sell like school milk in.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like squeeze pouches.
Oh,
like
squeeze pouch of chili? I would fucking destroy those. Only drawback, I love this chili, very profitable.
Okay.
Is that it does give me toots that could shatter a car windshield. Is the only problem. If I'm in the car with all the windows rolled up, and then I could do it too, and then just the pressure displacement, all the wind glass in my car explodes, which is problematic when I'm driving a daycare, because then the baby seat mirror explodes, and then I can't see our baby while I'm driving anymore. So that's obviously not ideal.
I have heard, and I don't know if it's true, I try to do it, but I have heard that if you rinse off the beans really well, you have less of an issue in that area.
They got fart particles on it. You're suggesting that when the beans grow up out of the ground from the good earth, that they're coated in some sort of fart particle that they picked up.
Well, and I've noticed this too. If you rinse a can of beans, like a lot of like bubbles will come up.
And you're suggesting that's the fart particles that are just coming up off the beans. I got to be careful here because I gave you guff. I gave you guff on the last episode because I thought you were going to say the names of the different chemicals wrong or something, and people were like, "Wow, Rachel actually crushed it." So, like, I'm looking forward to getting mail into our PO box 66639, Austin, Texas 78766. Just like, yeah, dude, fart particles, they're real. The main matter states are neutron, positron, and fart particles. What was the wrongest thing I just said?
I'm sure we'll hear about it.
Do you want to tell me about your first great thing?
Yeah, and hey, thank you. I didn't write down like anything about Griffin's great sauce in mine, so I'm sorry about that.
It's fine. I ate your chili for dinner last night and lunch today, and I just like, I love eating it, but I also love that like when I know that you're making it, like my whole day is like chili day. It's like a little miniature holiday.